Digital photography, and I want to talk to you about product photography and do a critique on your product photography. So here we go. One thing I wanted to mention, I'm just going to flip through a few of these Google image search for product photography. You can see my search here. And so I'm just looking at, like, black looks pretty sophisticated, especially when it has a little reflection down there. Pulling in colors and adding a few other elements can make it a little bit more interesting and youthful. If you have any bottles, it's really great to feature those with some strong light. Here we have another nice lighting behind these bottles. Again, that black reflective surface, just some gentle lighting. The shapes and composition and the off center are still applicable here, right? We talked about a lot about that, but that still goes for product photography. Here we can see that glass bottle being featured again. It's on a reflective surface, and the light, we're just really, I mean, there's so many shapes and shapes too, right? We're focusing on that, and glass bottles give a really wonderful shape to them. There is a new type of product photography that's been out for a few years. It's this kind of a flat photography where they lay things out. And I'll mention that if we run across it again, but there's a decent example. Yeah, here it is again. This one's a little unique because they put a different background on it. This is kind of a product with some action going on. There may be some Photoshop work going on, reflection, a lot of lighting, glass bottle. So the thing that they're trying to make it look as appealing as possible. Again, you see some noted elements on that shot. Same thing here. That glass really stands out, and a lot of times, you know, if it's a food, we can put other foods in the background and blur them out to make it feel like food rather than, you know, another type of liquid. Here's that glass being featured again, and even light shooting through the glass and liquid to give us some additional colors and shapes and lights going on. Light boxes can be very helpful. They're not necessary, but they can be very helpful. Here you can see two big light boxes plus a background that's rolled so you don't get a corner. I've kind of mentioned that in a post in Canvas. So let's get into it. But there's a lot to learn here, a lot of skill and crafting. And once you know that craft and can practice it, there's a lot to be done, right? A lot of product shots that need to be taken and that need to be sold. If you're looking for bad product shots, go look at Amazon. There's a lot of them in there as if you were to just shop around. I think there's also some good ones in there too, but not as good, and I would call this even advertising, but it is a product shot too. Okay, so after thumbing through, let's get started. So Daniel, so we're looking for 5 good shots on a particular product. I really like how you've used repetition and played with this repeating element and given us some things to look at, and you also have this arch going on, so it's really, really well done. I like the lighting in here too. I like how we can see it's gold and there's some shine to it. I think you're really featuring the packaging here. And actually, these are really delicious, aren't they? Yeah, nice job. I feel like someone at this company would feel like their package is being featured. Few things I might change. I might give a little more breathing room on each side, or zoom in on a piece. So and then put some in the background, perhaps. But you know, I like what you're doing. I like the focus. There's a lot about it that's good. Okay, now we've switched gears to a Tiffany & Company glasses. Okay, this gets not terrible, but just kind of slightly distracting back here where there's a lot of additional shapes. I know it's blurred, but this could, if we wanted to feature this Tiffany & Company, I think we probably should have zoomed in a bit more and lit that up, even if you had to go into Photoshop and kind of lighten it. And sometimes that is what it takes. Okay, I like what's going on here a lot. I like the white background. I like the box. I think you've cleaned that up pretty nice. This looks really great. It looks like looks like $1 million, what you want it to. My thing is about shapes at this point. And here's where I think, I mean, these are good shapes here on the side, but these are a little bit weaker, and I felt like maybe cropped a little too tight here. So it's a fine line. I mean, we have to still keep to some of the photography items we know. This corner is kind of a tangent to this edge, and so is this a tangent down here. I'm covering up with my hand this whole side, and then all of a sudden, wow, this looks great. This is my focus here. Okay, if we get one more of those. No. Okay. Yeah, it looks really cool. I think it's a little tight up here. I might open that up. And I actually would like to see the bottom of the product. I think I'm kind of missing that. But gosh, nice lighting on this. I like this gradated blend going from a light to a dark on both of these. I love the lighting so we can really see the words that are engraved. Yeah, well done on this. This is great. I really would watch the cropping on some of these in here as well. Pretty tight, but gosh, nice job. Okay, good way to start. Way to start, Daniel. Okay, so Lupe. Okay, so our product is a rose. That's great. Right now, or is the tabletop? So might be the tabletop. This is the one that's in focus. This is the one that's getting all the attention right now. This is a supporting figure currently. Okay, so now we see the rose. I feel like these would be really supporting elements for a ring right here. Or a glass or a perfume. But I think, gosh, you focused these really nicely. I love how we have one forward, which is a little more dominant, and one recessive. The shapes look really good. I like this gradient here, very nice. Yeah, this is good. I think I like what's going on this one here, where the shapes are dominant. This one, it feels a little trapped on the page. I feel like if this was trailing off the page, we would have somewhere to go, but right now we're kind of stuck on this, if that's visually stuck. Yeah, this is a little better. And that, yeah, that does help a lot. I feel like the lighting could be stronger here. I know we're seeing some lighting here hitting it, and I just want to push that a bit. Okay, yeah, this is nice. Okay, regardless of what book it is, looks like someone's law book, but this is a nice flower on the book. It's making some nice shapes. There's a few little parts where it's cutting off funny that I would watch out for. So these top corners and this middle. But other than that, yeah, nicely done. Okay, we'll move on. And I don't know what these are, but they look a little worn out. I like how they're focused very nicely, and I like how we can see the logos. And yeah, I think all of those things are working well. Ideally, they would be nice and clean and, you know, pristine, but I understand that, you know, they're not. They're something that are owned and used. And I have no problem with that. I feel like this is a little out of focus right here. I'd want it rotated a little towards me. I know we'd lose that, but then maybe the camera needs to, or maybe this needs to be stood up on something and rotated so we can see both. But it's a little out of focus right there. Okay, all right. So we get to see a product from the side and then the from the front. I'm not sure what this is. It might be because I'm not familiar with hand wraps, but okay. Yeah, I like the one in the background. That's nice. This is great. Yeah, I would probably rotate this so it looks similar to this. It feels like it's laying down a bit. I'd rotate it up so we can see the logo and the whole packaging up nice and clean. Yeah, good stuff. There we go. I like a lot about this. There's a lot of things that are in focus. Some really nice texture that kind of lets us go between these two. And we kind of, our eye kind of wanders around, but it always ends up coming back to this because this is the highest contrast and the most interest. I know this is the different color, but there's not much to see here, so we keep coming back. Okay, good. Like that. Okay, now we go to Le Mans and we're looking at Starbucks cold brew. Okay, all right. The ice looks like it's been there a bit. And I do like the shape of this glass, really nice. I like the corners. The shape is great. I think the ice needs to be refreshed because we've all had our glass like look like that and we know what it tastes like. It kind of just gets a little more watered down. The hand is fine, looks great. And I like how this is covered, you know, I like a lot what's going on here. I'm not totally sold on the background with this post, this divider, you know, a lot of those things, but this part, the glass looks clean and really, really nice. Again, I'd probably refresh the ice cubes. And this is a little too tight. I'd probably pull it away off to the side, maybe more in the background. Maybe I'd rotate this towards us a bit too. The hand and the glass look pristine except for the ice. Yeah, that's an interesting view. Looks like she's missing teeth, so I'd probably go in and fix that. And I'd remove that glow. But yeah, that's so far so good. Okay. The background's really rough on this. I would probably, I mean, a big piece of paper behind it would have served you better with I think the lighting is really nice on this, but I think the background is kind of messing it up a bit. You know, on these bottles, I think a backlit looks so nice because it shows the color of the product and makes things glow a bit. Here we see a lot of stuff we don't need to. So we're getting there, and I may have, I'm not sure what this is down here. I think it just looks part of the packaging. But if there's anything with like a date stamp or expires by, you can Photoshop that out. Okay, so far so good. All right, so now we go to the bat. And these need to get sized down a little better. Okay, this is pretty good. Boy, the bat looks cleaned up and shiny and looks like it's under some type of, you know, multiple lights. Looks good. The grass looks like it has some issues with it, and that could easily be fixed with Photoshop. I like that a lot. That looks really nice. You know what I do like about this one is this angle. So one thing about angles is they say action, they say dynamic, but have you've seen like, and this is nice too, it's a little bit of an angle. I love the balls in the back, that's wonderful. But like a sunset or any type of like a desert scene, you get a line, a horizontal line that goes across the page, and that means calm, it means relaxing, and this is going that way a little bit, and bats are not like that. I think bats need to be more at an angle to show some like action. Love the baseballs. Wow, great textures. Yeah, really like what's going on. Really nice. Another good one. This has been used, no problem. Obviously you want to get a pristine bat if you were to do it for real. Here's a little hair here. Yeah, I like how we're focusing on this. Very nice. Good job. Good thoughts on it. Okay, maybe some type of supporting photo for this. I like the angle. That's strong, nice. Yeah, another angle. Oh, I think the bat should have been completely in the photo. I think that would have helped a lot. I would have pulled out these little strings here. I don't mind the broken strings at all, although it's the only one. I like the reference here, and I like the beat up balls because it says this thing just clubs balls is what that's kind of the message. I would pull it away so it's not cropped, but yeah, looking good. Nice choice on that. Good choices. Okay, Allie, we're in the fireplace again. Ooh, we have such a tight crop here. That's a tangent. For sure, I'd pull that away from the edge by, out here somewhere so we feel a little more comfortable. It's a little more framed in. This is the product. This is what we're trying to sell. It's not a secondary thought. This is it. This is where the color is. This is where the detail is. So that's what I feel like that needs to. I don't want to get picky, but see this edge of the fireplace, this big curve? It's right along the same curve as the glass. So another tangent. Cool. Okay, I would probably twist this around so it's facing us. Somehow this glass needs to be lit a little better. I know glass is transparent, but if we're going to put it in here, it needs to hold its own. Maybe you pour some in. Maybe that's what the key is, but somehow it needs to have a light on it to light it up. Okay, this is a little better, but we still have that rough tangent. Yeah. I think these are taking a little bit too much stage right now, where I think these are our main players, but they're not getting what they need. So I'd pull this over, get it off that tangent so we can feel comfortable looking at it. Hey, now there's a good shot. Label's twisted towards us. It has plenty of breathing space on the edge. We can read it. Yeah, good. I mean, obviously we wouldn't use these same leaves. We'd probably use grape leaves if they were in season. Possibly. The candles are nice with the wine. Yeah, I know there's not many leaves out now, but well, is what it is. Maybe we take the leaves out altogether. I don't know. Okay, we're a little better. I think we want to see the whole bottle here. And see, we'll want to straighten things out. So kind of see that this is straight-ish against this edge. It's pretty close, but this bottle is not straight. So we need to go into Photoshop and straighten it. And I should, let's go grab a product and I can show you how to do that real quick. I won't take long. I know this is straight already, excuse me, but we're gonna pretend like it's not. Okay, let's just do this real quick. So let's say we want to straighten this product out. Okay, let's say it's not in the right spot, or maybe the whole picture needs corrected. So what we do, we'd select the whole thing. We can do a Control A, or we can use the rectangle selection tool. I have it on one layer, but you can select one layer at a time. let's just use the rectangle selection tool. Control T is what we want, and it's actually a free transform. If you go under Edit and halfway down the pull down, the Command T or Control T is free transform. So this lets you resize your image. If you just resize, it will stay in proportion and move down, up and down. If you hold down Command on a Mac or Control on a PC, you can begin shifting it. So let's say we want to get the edges of the purse straight. Let's just pretend that way. Okay, turn on my guides. And let's say we want the edges of the purse to line up here. So what we do is we'd grab this edge and hold down Command on a Mac or Control on a PC, and I'm going to drag to the left. So you can see how it's kind of distorting things, and we could do this on the on Allie's picture too. Notice the bottom is not moving, but the top is adjusting. I'm going to hit Enter, and then I'll get rid of the guides or hide the guides. And I pulled it down. You'll have to be a little more careful than that. But you can see if I turn on my guides, we straightened that purse out. So Control T and then holding down those corners will let you adjust, and I think that's what would help. Yeah, help this particular one. Okay, let's move to the next product shot. So we're looking at iLab. So I like a lot what's going on here. I like the logo. I like how these sconce lights are lit up. This needs fixed right here. This looks saggy and kind of terrible. It's like it's all droopy. So you could straighten this out in Photoshop. You could recreate, or you could hold it flat and shoot it and then bring it in from another picture in here and kind of Photoshop it in. And I have ways, there's tutorials on how to do that all over the place, but also on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. So let's just thumb through. I like what's going on here. I really do. Let me just mention something else. So this is supposed to be an ideal type setting. Okay, so I would Photoshop some of these gum marks out, some of this stain or the shadow out. And I would try to find, if it were me, I would put shops in here, not strong or strategic shops or something that's going to contrast with this, but it doesn't look great with these shops empty. Okay, just say that. Okay, yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Again, I would clean these up. So the empty is not selling it for me, and nor is the marks all over the concrete. So it doesn't look terribly product shoddy. I mean, I like a lot about this. I wish I could see the roof a little better. I think that would help sell it. And maybe a daylight shot would have been better, or an evening or a morning or something. I'm guessing 76 is the product. Or it looks like this is the product right here. So if 76 is, then we could have done something different. Okay, so this is probably my favorite. Had a few changes to it, but yeah, I think it's a good, a valid product and would work fine. Okay, so let's take a look at, I guess we're looking at a bed, or maybe it's the comforter. I'm not totally sure. Oh, I see. It's a chair covering, and this almost looks like, okay, so this is a good product shot. Everything's cleaned up, looks pretty pristine. I'd get rid of this here, and I might light things a little better, but this feels more like a process. I would have started with this one and done all the shots with the product on. That's even nice. Yeah, that works good. Nice shot. Yeah, another nice shot. Good. Okay, you get the idea. Great. Okay, so we'll move to the next one. and this is a Mac a laptop. Everything looks clean, which is great, good idea. I like the reflection. I think that's good and important. I'm not sure about the angle of the keyboard. I think I would have opened it up at least straight up or maybe slightly back and then step back a little bit so the whole thing was included. Yep, that's a nice shot of a Mac. Make sure it's you know, dust free and stuff like that. Okay, good. Yeah, all right. Okay, I think those glowing keys really make a difference and help. Okay, great. Okay, Kit Kat, let's see what we can do. Okay, all right. I know one thing, we really want to see the logo when we're doing some kind of a product shot. And this stuff can be photoshopped out. All that code is like, no one knows, doesn't matter. Photoshop it out. Okay, that's pretty good. I like the crumbs. There's some crumbs that I think don't work, which are like kind of dust. But I think I think the crumbs from this thing work. Also, I mean, okay, it's really hard to shoot a food shot, right? So chocolate is really interesting. It can't be, it has to look creamy. It has to look not grainy, and this looks pretty grainy. And there's ways of fixing it, which almost makes it into an illustration where you're coming in and really working all these different shapes and stuff. Okay, all right. I'd probably clean up a few things here and dust this off, but all right. Okay, all right. Yeah. Yeah, I like this one. This is a great shot. I think that looks good. There's a lot of potential here for it. It does need cleaned up. Oh yeah, this one's okay too. I think it's cut off a little weird. I think I would have captured the whole thing. And that's a little tight. I would have opened it up. But I like this. Yeah, that's pretty cool in the background. It's a nice idea. Okay, good. And I like Kit Kat a lot. Okay, tangent. I like what's going on here. It's pretty cool. And here's some dead leaves in here that probably need to be taken out before you take the shot. But good. Yeah, probably a better location because brown and I mean this is old growth here, right? So yeah, okay. Okay, so this is a nice, really nice idea where we have light shining through it, a hand is holding it, and you put it against a dark background so it pops out. So those are a lot of good moves on your part. This looks really fantastic. I would probably get rid of this thing which is crossing over and shading the logo, but you have a lot of good going on here. This bubble, see, we don't know it's laying down until we see this bubble. So somehow we need to see this bubble not here. So I don't know if you overfill it and put it back on. I don't know if you Photoshop this out or if you fake these branches and kind of keep them upright. But that's a little distracting right now. But I love this idea. Okay, this is actually getting better and better. A little tight here. But yeah, pretty good. I love this lighting. Love what's going on here. That's really important. Good leaf placement. This is pretty cool back here. Yeah, it feels really sunshiny. And peach iced tea is, you know, it's kind of when you're dealing with iced tea, you're talking about sun and about summery, and this has that feel. I think zooming out a little bit would have helped you, but wow, that was a very good shot. Nice job. Okay, this also is a really great shot. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have room for copy. You're putting in shaving, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, good, really nice stuff. Good lighting, good background. And yeah, that looks good as well. Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. I like that. A little bit of Photoshop work. Didn't hurt anybody. That's really cool. Well done. Okay, great. Hey, nice job, everyone. I'm excited about these. You guys are moving forward. Yeah, excellent.